Well, it's going. We are live. Welcome everybody back to the channel. Manchester United have not played football for what feels like years at this
Yeah,
point, but it has been, I think, about 14 days, maybe a little bit less.
yeah,
And it was an international break, which is even more annoying. So yeah, we'll have to watch everybody else play. But yeah, preview this clash. I'm joined by Shreyas. We are facing Everton on Monday night. Shreyas, are you happy that United are back playing football? We get to see Carrick ball again.
yeah. Because again, it feels like an eternity that we have
Yeah.
last played football. Like I miss seeing Casemiro and Menu and players on the pitch. So glad that we are finally playing. And again, we are in for a very important fixture again against Everton because just saw all the results that have gone through. In the on this match day, and
A lot of points dropped.
yeah, a lot of points dropped. Certain clubs actually picking up points at the same time as well. So it's a very important opportunity for us right now. If we can, go, against Everton, we can have a good showing. We can get, pick up some points and create that sort of a gap because
Yep.
Villa drop points as well. So if you can somehow, you could say drag Villa now to that top four race sort of, you
Mm-hmm.
create a good situation for yourself that, maybe United can fight it out for third, or
Yep.
at least, create that sort of, you know, discomfort for Villa that they once had like 3 to 4 games beforehand that, okay, we are third and we've got a good, comfortable cushion there. They don't have that right now. So the moment we can start creating some pressure there as well, I think Villa with European football on the same hand as well might be a bit too much for them to hold on to both competitions.
Yeah, Villa almost lost as well. Like, if it weren't for that
Yeah,
last minute equaliser, they could have dropped even more points, which would be even better for United. But yeah, we are going to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. We've not been there yet. Everton are not having a really good time at home as it is.
yeah,
Obviously, we were in a bit of a rhythm beforehand, 5 wins, slight sort of draw, like just before the sort of break and stuff like that. But I'd say we're in a nice little good rhythm. Michael Carrick potentially fighting for the permanent manager. Obviously, he's going up against the former United manager and David Moyes. They beat us in that game with 10 men, I think we all remember, which was probably one of the worst
yeah.
performances I've watched in a long time. We know how Moyes sets up his teams. He's going to be rigid. He's going to be hard to break down. They have a striker who's finally hitting some form in Thierry Barry. Illumin Dye is a dangerous player. James Garner. How do we break them down? Because we're going to be expected to have possession, which traditionally we're not great at. How do we sort of break this team down for us?
I think perhaps go with the same model that we did against Fulham. I think in these sort of games where we are expected to have more possession, we are still able to do quite good now, I would
Yeah,
say. And I think what matters the most in these sort of games where you're expected to have more possession is have the right players on the ball a lot more. Because earlier on in these sort of games in the past few seasons, I've seen that even though we might have more than 50% possession, most of the times the ball is with Maguire or Lisandro
yes,
or Luke
yeah,
Shaw or someone else, more of the defensive side of things. If we can get Bruno on the ball that much, if we can get players like Ahmad, Cunha involved a whole lot more into the game, having that much of the ball, I think it actually plays into our favor then, because we know that these guys are sort of playmakers. If they are on the ball a lot more, it will create a lot more discomfort for the opposition team.
mhm,
And I think United actually have a very good opportunity to capitalize on it because, like you said, Everton have only picked up 16 points in 13 games in
yeah.
their home ground. So if we are in a very good, I would say, position right now to actually go there and get a good result. Again, we've been on a good run. I think that last game against West Ham sort of deflated certain fans, but I would still say West Ham as well. In fairness, they were on quite a good run as well
Yeah,
when we
true.
actually faced them. They got back to back wins, which they haven't in quite some time. Nuno is finally getting some tune out of that team.
Mhm.
So I still believe it was a good result. Maybe in said occasions, if we were a bit more brave, if Ahmad in certain situations was a bit more brave, maybe we would have just gotten the 3 points done there itself. But I think it differs from game to game. And I think right now, if I have to compare West Ham and if I have to compare Everton, I think Everton right now going there is a better opportunity for us just because of how their form has been in the past few games.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Obviously, like Carrick did play under David Moyes when he
Yeah,
was at Manchester United. I think it was like 20 odd games or something like that. So he's definitely familiar with how Moyes operates and stuff. I don't think that'll give him any sort of tactical advantage because obviously David Moyes has evolved as a manager like since that point. But let's talk their dangerous players. We'll get into our lineups and who's going to be key for United after that. But for Everton, Iliman Ndiaye was the guy in form before the AFCON. He seems to have dropped off a little bit. Not as influential as he once was. Jack Grealish is out injured, who was a big, big part of their team. James Garner, I think he just signed a new deal, whatever, and he's very, very good. Who do you see as their biggest sort of threats for Everton? Who are the players we've got to look at and be like, we need to stop them from getting anything out of this game?
I think Endai is always a threat, whether he's
Yes.
in good form or bad form. He's someone who still knows how to make himself felt in a particular fixture. I think Grealish is still not back, and O'Brien is suspended. So I
Yes.
think Endai is the only person in that attack right now. Someone who has a good track record of performing well against United. I think Endai is someone you can take a look at. Ex players, James Garner is obviously going to turn up in this game.
Yeah.
This, some it just happens every single time with United. But I think besides these two in the past few games, I haven't seen that much out of Everton. So I think if you can shut, Endai down on that right hand side, I think United will be a whole lot more comfortable because I think they just signed George from Chelsea, the youngster.
Oh, Tyree
So
George. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he is an interesting player, but I don't know if he's as effective as Endai. So I think it would be much better if you can close Endai down because if you allow him that sort of freedom, whether he's in form or he's not in form, he can be, very deadly.
He can pick one out as well. Like he can
Yeah.
score incredible goals from out of nowhere, which is something we seem to suffer from. Like
Yeah.
Kevin with Fulham, just out of nowhere, just puts one in the top corner. And so yeah, it's definitely something we've suffered with. Let's talk United lineups. We'll get the 11s on the screen. So let's get yours up first, Shreyas. And there we go. Do you want to talk us through your team? Like who've you gone with and why?
Yeah, I mean, Lemons picks himself in net. I think he's been incredible. I've gone with Mazraoui at right back because, like I mentioned, I think in this game I would want someone more sound than Dallo. And I think Dallo, as good as he's been under Carrick, I think last game he was a bit overexposed.
Yes.
Um, and I think this is probably the best time you can get Mazraoui in. And I still think that, in a traditional four back system, playing as a right back, he's class. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely a very, very solid player. So I think Mazraoui needs to come back in. Maguire and Martinez, perhaps your best partnership right now at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. They've both been really solid. Luke Shaw as well. He's been playing a lot of minutes for us this season for a change.
Most minutes of
So
any player.
yeah. So and again, no, he's been consistent enough in his position as well. So Luke Shaw there. Again, the midfield as well picks itself. We've not really got any other players to actually, uh, accommodate or shift. So Casemiro, Mino, and Bruno playing in the 10.
Yep.
I've gone with Mbuma on the right. I
Mm-hmm.
think not because I don't like Ahmad. I think Ahmad is exceptional and a very, very big talent. But I think last game he was a bit, knackered at the end, and on top of that, he just
Mm-hmm.
looked uh, not in his right condition.
Mm-hmm.
Because in said moments where Ahmad found himself in the last game, you would expect him to convert.
Mm-hmm.
So I think might be the time to shift Mbuma to the right hand side. Cunha picks himself on the left hand side, and Sesko up top because he's been scoring every single game pretty much
He
on
needs
a
a chance,
consistent
doesn't
basis.
he? He needs a
Yeah,
chance.
and I think he deserves a shot, and he's earned his spot in this team.
Yeah.
So, and again, I think because we're going to be playing against the likes of Branthwaite and Tarkowski being there, I think
Mm-hmm.
someone like Sesko being involved in their box, I think could allow spaces for players like Cunha and Mbumo to appear.
Yeah.
So maybe Ahmad comes on as a super sub, but I think for the starting, at least I would want Mbumo to play off the right, Sesko down the middle, and Cunha off the left.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting. I've gone very similar. I've just tweaked a couple of things. So I've kept Dallo in the team just because I think it seems Carrick really
Yeah,
fancies him. Like, so I've kept him, but I would love to see Mazraoui personally. I would pick personally Mazraoui, but I think that he's going to be. I've heard some stuff. Maguire is suffering with quite a few knocks and injuries.
yeah.
So
He's
his training,
50-50. It's touch and
yeah.
go.
So
Yeah.
I've put Yoro in there just because I thought that when he came on
Yeah,
with the blocks and stuff, I thought he was fantastic. Some of the blocks and the tackles he made were phenomenal. So I think give him an opportunity because I think he can build on that and sort of have a really good game. Sure, like you've already touched on Martinez, the midfield picks itself. Like I don't think
yeah.
we need to sort of explain that. I've kept Ahmad in there. I do agree with you. He had a bit of a poor game for himself, and I think Sesko deserves to start. But this seems to be like Carrick's favoured
His
front three at the minute.
go-to
Yeah,
players in
and I
formation.
think if they're all fit, I think that's what he's going to go with. I think obviously if one of them is injured or not, maybe he does tweak things. Again, I would love to see Sesko in the front line, and I'd move him Boomer out to the left, to the right hand side. Sorry, but yeah, I just don't see it. Unfortunately, like it just seems he likes the impact of Sesko off the bench. But again, I give Sesko an opportunity for me. I would
Yeah.
love to see it, but yeah, we don't know. We'll see what happens on Monday. Yeah, let's get into some other stuff. Shreyas, obviously, we're expected to dictate this game. Everton are kind of, I wouldn't say the relegation fodder this season,
No.
but they're kind of middling. I don't think they're really going to get into Europe. I don't really think they're going to sort of do much. Do you think they're just the biggest threat is they're just a bit of a roadblock thing because they're not really fighting for anything, but they're not like going for anything. So they just be happy to sort of not lose. Like, do you think that's the risk with this game? Like, we're gonna have to go out and attack to get something from this game.
Look, I think against, teams like Everton, Fulham, and these sort of clubs, getting the early goal really helps you out because
Yes.
they're going to stay rigid and compact. And the moment you attack them and actually you're able to convert an early goal, spaces start to open, upon itself because they start to, actually start to go for the game a little bit more. And that's when you can capitalize the most. So the early goal always helps. But I think in the past few seasons, Everton have always been lingering around that 17th, 16th,
Yep.
those sort of positions. And
Yep.
for a change, I would say this season they're doing quite well for in regards
Mm-hmm.
to they're right now they're ninth in the table. I
Yep.
don't remember the last time they were up there.
Probably the last
So
time David Moyes was at the club, to be fair.
yeah, could be. And I think considering how they're going, I don't expect them to get Europe, but I do see them at least being 11th or 12th,
Yep.
which I would say, considering how much of a problem there has been at Everton, it's a very good jump and good
Yep.
progress for them. Maybe this is something they can build up upon in the coming seasons. But I think right now they're doing quite good with what they've got. But on the same hand, this is a very big opportunity for United.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will expect United to play on the front foot, but I think what matters most for us right now is getting that early goal. If you
Yep.
get that early goal within the first 15 minutes, then even if Everton try to, slow the pace of the game down, they perhaps actually play into our game because
Mm-hmm.
you slow the pace of the game down, you're already on the back foot after conceding a goal. Then when you've got players like Cunha in there, they irritate the life
Oh,
out of you
definitely.
when you're in the lead. So I think we've got the right players right now to counter someone like an Everton. And yeah, I think if you can get Bruno on the ball as much as we are expected to have the ball, if you can
Mm-hmm.
get Bruno on most of the opportunities in and around the box, we all know what he's capable of.
100%.
And right now we've got a very good attack who are right now, I would say, in pretty good form. Mbumo has been in and around the goals. Cunha has been in and around the goals as well.
Yep.
So I think we should make the most of our opportunity. And we still, again, we still don't know how long we can keep this form up as well. I hope it lasts till the entire of the season, but till it lasts, it would be better for us to get as many points as possible.
Yes.
At least create some sort of gap because I expect us to, falter at some point at least in this
Mm-hmm.
season. There are 12 games left. I don't expect us to get positive results in all of those 12. If you can create at least, a 5-6 point gap between that fourth and fifth position, then I can say that United are quite comfortable right now.
Yeah, like we are obviously in this battle for Champions League, and obviously there's going to be a bump in the road. And these are the sort of teams we traditionally
Yeah.
struggle with: the Fulhams, the Evertons, the Bournemouths, the Brightons. These are the good teams where we struggle to get anything out of. So it's definitely the ones where we need to pick up points. Just a couple of stats going in this season so far. United have 47 goals scored. Everton have 29. So there's obviously a big difference there. The fact that we are outscoring them by almost double like what they've put in. However, the more worrying stat is we've had 37 goals conceded. They've only conceded 30. So they are very tight at the back. They are very hard to break down, whereas we seem to concede a lot. I think we've only had, 3 clean sheets all season?
Yeah, three or four.
It
Yeah.
is very, very worrying. Goals per game, 1.8 for us, 1.1 for them. Shots on target per game, 5.7 for us, 3.3. Big chances per game, 2.9 for us, 1.8 for them. And big chances missed per game, 1.9 to 1.2 for them. So, yeah, we are, in the attacking sense, we are better than them in every metric. However, they are dangerous and they can cause problems, especially off set pieces. They've got big guys like Tarkovsky, like you mentioned. Jordan Pickford will probably have the game of his life, like he normally does when he plays against us. He'll make some miracle saves, which always seems to happen, which is furious. Let's talk ones to watch, Shreyas. Who are the ones to watch for Everton? I know you touched on it in Dyke, but who's the most important player for Manchester United?
I think Bruno is always going to be one. Whether which opposition you come up against, Bruno is always there. But besides him, I think this will be a very big game for Menu because he sort of made his debut against Everton as well when he came. When he broke through and he had an incredible performance. And I think he's someone who's gone under the radar a bit because of how good Casemiro has been. Absolutely incredible. But Menu as well, I think he deserves his flowers after being out of the team so long. And I think in this game, considering they've got James Garner in there, Dewsbury Hall, I think Menu will be quite important for us to actually, link that midfield with the attack and driving the ball forward. And I think Menu will be very important in winning that midfield battle.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go down to the final thing there, Shreyas, the all-important goal prediction and score prediction. How are you seeing this? Do we win? Do we draw? Who's scored in and who's the goal scorers?
I think we win and I think a 2-0 win. I think we finally get a clean sheet again.
I'll take that.
Because besides Hendai right now, I know Barry has been in better form, but
yeah,
I'm not convinced on him at all.
No,
personally. He's very flaky. So, and considering you've still got Martinez, and even if Maguire plays or Euro plays, I think they are quite capable to handle someone like him. So, I think we don't concede. And on the other end, I think Sesko gets another one.
Oh,
and Bruno has a very brilliant, I think perhaps one of his better records against Everton as well. I think he gets a goal again.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that 2-0 all day. I'm going with 2-1 just because I don't trust us to keep a clean sheet. I really don't. It's almost impossible, which is irritating because I think Sam Robinson has covered himself in glory. I think
the awkwardness with which we concede the goals is something that I look
it's so
at and
stupid.
Go, how?
It's so stupid.
What?
Just that goal where with the own goal thing with Lissandro and the mess that was in the box. It was just for fuck's sake, really? That's how we're conceding?
After playing so well.
Yeah, it's just so irritating. So I just don't trust us. So I'm going to go 2-1. I think in Bubo, because he's just in a goal scoring form, I think he'll get one. And then, I agree with you. I think Bruno will get one. Maybe a free kick or something. Maybe a penalty or something. I think that'll be good. But get your score predictions in the comments. Give us your 11 in the comments. Let us know what you think of the game if you're watching live or you're watching later on. We are playing on Monday night, so we will have the usual pre-match and post-match reviews, all that sort of stuff, team news, whatever. So please do come check us out. I have actually got the stuff on here this time, so let's put this up. Is it going to work? Yes. So there is our merch. This hat that I've got on right now. There's a hoodie. There's a mug. If you want to go check that out, the link is in the description. All really quality stuff. There is a competition going on our socials, which are here if they want to play. There we go. If you want to go check that out, there's a competition on right now that you can win all three, the hoodie, the mug, and the cap. So if you go follow the instructions on there and you can be entered to win. It's the last day of it today. We'll announce the winner tomorrow just before the Everton game. So please do go check that out. Shreyas, thanks for joining us. Nice and simple match preview.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and yeah, hopefully we get 3 points again.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell to let us know when you go live. And we'll see you all tomorrow.